Welcome everybody. My good friend Mookie TC gave me a suggestion. I thought, you know what, why not do a twofer? So we are going from Pieces of 8 back to Grand Illusion. So this lesson, some people have done it online, and what they skip over is there is an acoustic intro. Now, normally Styx Live skips that also. They just go into the lick after the keyboard intro, but they don't do the acoustic part. The only time, and I looked, but not real hard. I have their Pieces of 8 and Grand Illusion DVD, and Tommy Shaw came out with a 12-string and played this. And that's how I was able to pull out what he was doing. Also, there's a great video by Double Bruno, and I'll link that below so you can check out their video. It's a really wonderful, just two acoustic guys sitting there. One's doing the simplified intro, and the other guy's playing the keyboards on the other acoustic. Wonderful video. I told him I'd mention it. The link will be below the video, just like my tab. You can download and have all that information. So I'll include that easy intro. If you don't want to go through all this 12-string, you can just play the chords, okay? Okay, with that said, I got the 12-string out because that's what Tommy played live, and I'm pretty sure used on the recording. And I'm a big proponent of a 12-string anyhow, even if you get a cheap Yamaha. Most of my 12-string lessons are on my cheap Yamaha. It was a wonderful guitar. I just upgraded because I wanted to, frankly. So, enough talking. Intro, clean guitar, acoustic, 12-string. Again, 6-string will sound fine. In the live DVD, he does come in with a C, D, but I don't think that's in the regular recording. And then he comes in with this. Alright, so what we're doing is open 6th string, 2nd fret of the 5th string, 4th fret of the 4th string, and then the rest of the strings open. This is an E minor add 9. Real pretty chord. What he does, I think he's hitting the 6th and 5th string, and then strikes the 4th string and 3rd string, and then 1st, 2nd, 3rd. So that pattern, 5, 4, 3, and then 1, 2, 3, is consistent. So, like I said, I think with this E minor add 9, he might strike both in the beginning just to give it some fill, but then just strike the 2 to 4. So, we'll go through that twice. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, then we take this pattern and just move it up to 3 and 5 on the 5th and 4th string. Same pattern, pick through twice. Then he moves his first finger from the 3rd fret to the 4th fret, leaving the 5th fret on the 4th string covered. Picks through that just once and then switches to a D chord. Now the D, we will hit the 4th string to the 3rd string, and then 1st, 2nd, 3rd. All right, so we'll goes, this is really, it's kind of a, I think it's an augmented chord, and it's really based off of B augmented, right? But he's only hitting, after going through the D chord, he's only hitting the first fret of the fourth string to the open third. It's like leading to these walk-up chords, all right? So from the 4-5, we'll do that once, and then once through the D, and then to that B augmented. All right, which would be B augmented and 11. I look a lot of these chords up. I'm not theory-based. I do my research on the chords. So anyhow, all right, from the 4-5, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we grab on the 5th string at the 3rd fret and the 4th string at the 2nd fret, and then open 3rd. We'll do that pattern up from the, let's just count this middle finger. We'll go from 3 to 5 and then 6. All right, C to D sharp. And we'll hit the 3 strings together. I'm sorry, more of a chord. Alright, and then we end this with our E minor add ninth, so that 2 on the 5th string, 4th fret on the 4th string, pick all the way through the strings to the 1st. And then harmonics on the 12th fret from the 3rd to 2nd and 1st. Okay, this is not played very fast. It's just, listen to it. It's got that da 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 da, you know, kind of a droning. Alright, that is the intro. So again, my notes right below. Click on that link. You can download the PDF. I did include that the live DVD does a C and D fifth, basically, to kind of sync in with the keyboards. And then we have the distorted guitar. So for the distorted part, there's multiple ways to play this, and I'll show you basically all of them. I'll show you what James does, I'll show you what Tommy does, and then I'll show you a couple other ways of doing it, which you can find whatever works for me. It doesn't matter. Alright, so I wrote out Tommy's part. That's what we'll start with. So what we're going to do is we're going to be in the 5th position to start out with on the 5th string. And we're going to hit 7, pulled off to 5, and then hit 7 again. Then we go semi-palm muted, open 6th string, 3rd fret, 6th string, back to open. And then we come back to this 5th position, but what we're going to hit is that 7th fret of the 5th string to the 5th fret of the 4th, right back to 7 on the 5th string. Alright, and it is not a pause like I just did. It's more of a... It's very quick, and it took me a little bit to get used to it. But I saw that's what Tommy's doing. I've seen other ways tabbed out or showing it. You can put your first finger there and hammer in to the 10th fret, all right, which would be the G there, with a hammer on and pull off. That's fine. You'd have this. Okay, or you could do that at the 2nd fret with the E up to this G on the 4th string. Okay, but that's not what the guys are doing. They're not hammering on and pulling off. Again, doesn't matter. No one will know the difference, but I'm trying to teach you what I saw them play and what I believe they play on the recording. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we're going to move move to a simple C to D. Now, Tommy, I notice occasionally, he doesn't do it all the time, but it adds more of a keyboard flavor. So if you don't have a keyboardist, this will sound great. He adds the 6-string bass to these chords, all right? He usually does it when he goes the second time through, because we're going D to C. So first time through with C to D, we would do a normal power chord there. The second time, we're going to go D to C, but we're going to add that A note on the 6th string and then the G note on the 5th string to our D and then C power chords. Hear how that gives it kind of that keyboard sound? And like I said, you can add it going up, but mostly he doesn't. It's just really, again, how you want to play it. So, with that said, so we've gone C to D, then we've gone with our A root over D, back to our G root over C. We're going to do one more C to D. Then we're going to end this with a B power chord, all right? And what we're going to do is hit that 1, 2, and then a quick up, down. And then go G to A. So that's just power chords. 6th root G, that's A 5th root power chord. Okay, so the intro, after the acoustic piece we hear, the electric distortion will come in and we'll do what we just learned with the lick and then C to D and then the lick and then D to C as one measure. The second measure will be the lick and then C to D and then the lick and then our B ending. Okay, so that is how the intro goes with that distorted first 2 measures. Well, those 2 measures will repeat 2 more times in the verse. So we're going to go through those again twice. And that will be verse 1, and then we're into the chorus. So for James's part of the intro, he sticks more to the open strings, all right? So he's going to do the 2nd fret of the 4th string pulled off to open and then hitting it back on. Then the 6th string, just like we've done. And then he's going to go from the 3rd string, 2nd fret to, 4th string, 2nd fret, that E note, to the G note open on the 3rd string, back to the E. Alright, then he's going to do a G to D power chord. Same lick. Then he'll do C to D. And he does more of the C power chord here to first position D power chord. So leave your first finger off, or middle finger off the 1st string. Then we go back to C, D. And then he goes to the B. And he does more of just an open G partial chord, just bottom half. And then A. So that's really James's part. Okay, and again, if you want to do that, that's fine. Hammer on from that E to G and pull back off either spot. Sounds good. All right, chorus. We've got all based around a B starting chord. We're going to have 1 hit and then 2 more hits. Then we go up to C, B, and then A power chord. Second time through, we're going to go repeat the B part, but then we're going to hit B again to A and G. Or either way, all right? And then we do our B part again, and this time we're going to combine all. We'll go C, B, A, G, and then A. All right, so we'll have this for the last half measure. And I notice what Tommy does there, it's an A suspended chord, but he upstrums on it and closer to the bridge. All right, that'll get you that kind of sound. So the chorus together, all right, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we are into verse 2, so we got 2 more measures of the lick and chords. All right, then we are into chorus 2. Chorus 2 is exactly what we've done for chorus 1. All right, so chorus 1 and 2 are the same, verse 1 and 2 are the same. After chorus 2, we are into a bridge, which gives us a keyboard solo and leads up to the actual solo guitar and the solo rhythm. So we'll go over the bridge. Okay, so I'm calling this the bridge because it leads into the keyboards, also the keyboard solo. All right, so this is the first time we hear the bridge. We will hear a shortened version of it. So we're doing our C power chord, but we're adding that G in the bass, and we're going to move that whole thing up to our D power chord with that A in the bass. And it will be 8 counts. Then we start this little rhythm where the keyboard takes off. All right, so C with that G in the bass, our D with the A in the bass, each 8 counts. Then we go, just move up a half step, and we're going to be playing 8 to 6. All right, we're going to do that a total of 4 times. Now we move it up 10 to 8. Then 12 to 10. And we end with this on the 9th fret of the 5th and 4th string, referencing a B. And then you can slide up to a B at the 5th string root, but up here at the 14th fret. But anyhow, we'll be on 16 on the 4th and 3rd string. That's when the solo rhythm starts and the solo starts. All right. So, you know, my videos, I always go over the solo rhythm first and the actual solo last. So the solo rhythm, all right, what is it? Well, it's basically what we've done for the verse. We're going to do that same exact rhythm. Just a little bit more muted, so the lead is up front. And we'll go through that just like a verse for 4 measures total. And then we are into chorus 3. Chorus 3, exactly like we've learned with chorus 1 and 2. That leads us into verse 3. Verse 3, again, just like we've learned. Chorus 4 is next, same thing. Then we are into bridge 2. Now bridge 2's rhythm, like I said, it's shorter because we're going into the outro. So it's shorter in the aspect that we're going to our C with the G in the bass, and then our D with the A in the bass, 6th string, 8 counts each, and then we go into our lick. And that just repeats. There's no more B parts to it. It's just the lick. And then C to D, the lick, and then D to C. That continues and fades out. All right. So bridge 2, like I said, is just our C with the G in the bass and then D. So we fade out. All right, we got all the rhythm. So I did promise you I'd show you the simplified acoustic, which I do have. It's at the very last part of my note. Again, this is from Double Bruno, but it's basically an E minor. Let me show you that. Get a cleaner tone. E minor to C, A minor to D. We'll repeat all of that. And then finish with an E minor. So it's really, really a nice way to play it if you don't want to go through all the minutiae of picking through the chords. It sounds wonderful for that part, especially electric guitar tuned down. So I'm going to switch guitars because Mr. James Young does his solo and adds a little whammy bar. So I'll get out my old Wolfie EVH guitar with the whammy bar and we'll go through that. Okay, Mr. James Young's solo here is very melodic and honestly very approachable. It's done very well, and I think you'll be able to play this. Alright, I'm going to stop right there before we get too far in the minutia. What we start out with on the 2nd string, just sliding into 13 and then coming back quickly to the 8th fret on that 2nd string. And then the 9th fret of the 3rd string. Use your middle finger because when you get to that ring finger at 9, we'll be all set for the 1st finger at 7. And then we're going to grab that 3rd string 7 to 9 with a bend, 7 to 9, and then we'll hit 9 again with a bend release and then hit 7. Alright, so we have this so far. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then you want to hit the open 6th string and bring your whammy bar down. And then we're going to come back to the 12th position. Alright, we're going to hit 12 on the 3rd string to 14 with a bend or release. And then 12 hammered onto 14, pulled back off to 12, landing on 14 on the 4th string. Lay down, catch 14 on the 3rd, back to 14 on the 4th, and then 12 on the 3rd. And then we'll catch 14 on the 3rd and 2nd string with a bend and release twice. Alright, so we have this all together so far. 1, 2, 3, 4. Another hammer on from 12 to 14, pulled back off to 12, landing on 14 on the fourth, lay down, catch 14 on the third, back to 14 on the fourth, and then 12 on the third. So kind of a back and forth here. Just like we did. Alright, at that point we come to 12 on that third string. We're going to grab 14 with a bend up, and then to the first string at 12, and then second string at 12. And then hit 15 on the second string bend. So that's kind of the first real memorable lick, if you will. And I'm running this into the second measure of my notes because it just wouldn't fit. So all together, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, to finish out the second measure I wrote out of the solo, will sound like this. So what he does is he's sliding into this 7th position on the second string, catching 9 on the third string with a bend, and then coming back to the second string, hitting 7, hammering into 10, and pulling back off to 7. Then we come to the third string again at 9 with a bend, release, and pull off. And then another hit on 9 and pulled off to 7. So we have this on the third string. And then you'll hear him slide into 9 on the third string, catch the second string at 12, back to 9 on the third. It's just really different, but again, all this is a melody that really melds together very well. So the next part of the solo, we're up here. We're actually going to start out in the 14th position. We're going to slide in to the 4th string at 14, and then we'll grab the 3rd string at 16 with a bend, and then we'll hit 14 on that 3rd string, slid back to 12. Then we're going to hit 14 on the 4th string twice, pulled off to 12. We'll do it again on the 5th string, but then slide to 10 after hitting 12. Then we're going to hit the 6th string 12, back to the 5th string at 10, back to the 6th string at 12, and then just lay our finger down, catch 12 on the 5th string, slid up to 14. Alright, so up to that point. Then we'll grab the 4th string, 12, and hit 14. Then we come to the 3rd string, 12, and 14 with a bend, release, and pull off to 12. And then end on 14, bend up. So that's the end of the 3rd measure that I've written out. Okay? So all together, 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, that will take us to the last measure of the solo. So the last measure of the solo is a little tricky, but if you know how to play it, it makes sense. Alright? He's going to start out at the 12th position, and then he'll finish up at 17, but it's that transaction between the two. It's like, how do I get there with these notes? Alright, so to start out, we're going to be on the 2nd string at 15 with a bend, and then we're going to grab 12, hammer down to 15, pull back off to 12, and then just 14 on the 3rd to 15 on the 2nd, back to 14. No bends, alright? Then we come back to 12 to 15, back to 12 on the 2nd string, and 15 bend. So that 15 bend with the little vibrato is where we change. Alright, so we have this so far. 1, 2, 3, 4. We change to the 17th position, first string, then we jump to the third string with 19 bent, and then hitting 17 to 19 on the fourth string. Then we come back to 17 on the third, to 19 pulled off to 17, landing on 19 to end. Alright, so again, a little bit of technique there, but you take it slow, slow it down, and then work with it and speed up. It's real melodic, so it makes a lot of sense. So I really hope that helps everybody. It was a joy learning. Thanks, Mook. God bless everybody. Enjoy.